Here we go. Welcome everybody back. Gosh, I am such a nerd sometimes. This is killing me. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. My gosh, I have my reparations coffee. I'm going to take a sip. And you all are back. I appreciate you being here. You know, somebody go tell Monkey he's stepping all over my game right now. That's all right. He's always pretty cool about that. And unfortunately, I don't have any way to bring him back on. But we're here. We are here at the Morning Night Live. And you know, I've spent so much time on Jussie Smollett that there's probably a lot of things I got to get caught up on. Are you kidding me? I love this Jussie Smollett thing. I can't stand looking at myself while I'm talking. So I'm going to... You know, but I want to pop over here to Monkey Stream for a second because maybe you'll be able to hear what they're talking about this time. So let's just do that. What's going on with what's going on over there? Let's just listen to them for about 30 seconds. Let's see if they're still talking about the same stuff about college.
And when Polly's on, we have to do that.
Did you see have you been reading his hot takes on the Smollett deal?
Oh my God. Oh, these guys.
Then you don't want education? Are you sure? I want forced education.
Are you sure they haven't been to college?
Oh, yeah. You know what? They might have just gone to it and
okay, maybe they're
applied I don't know,
anyway,
a way of taking advantage. Those guys are...
I want to just point out again, AOC has a degree.
Oh.
Okay, so they're still talking about whether or not people should have a college degree. And you know what? I don't think everybody needs a college degree. I agree with them there. But let's go. What should I put in their chat right now? Let's see. Well, they're not on Smollett. They're talking more about they were having a discussion on whether or not the value of college and college is valuable if you go there for something that is value to you when you leave. But you know, to me, my personal opinion, if your major ends with the word studies, you better start studying menus because that might be the only kind of job you're going to get. Which, by the way, I am not disparaging people who work in places that have menus. I worked in places that had menus for many years. I was in the restaurant industry. I was a server, a bartender, and all that stuff. It was great money. It was great fun. And I could golf 4 times a week when I was a bartender. So I'm not going to ever complain about those days and don't think that they are bad professions. However, when I say if your major ends in studies, you better start studying menus. Usually I mean like a Starbucks menu or do anyone besides me have Caribou coffees around them? Those are good places too. Also, we have a local place called Dunn Brothers. Although often I get my reparations coffee out of a Keurig. So, although also you know what? Something I think is going to be a new trend in convenience stores because the local convenience store has a coffee machine that actually has a grinder and it grinds fresh beans and it makes, coffee 1 cup at a time. It blows Starbucks or any other place around here away. And it's $1.29 to fill my Bubba cup as a refill. So, I'm just enjoying the coffee. So let's do today here. Like I said, the title of this one is, let's get caught up. And I want to get caught up on a couple things today. One, French press is always a good way to do it too. Do you do, by the way, good morning. I got to say good morning, everyone in the chat. Good morning, Smarty Bear. Thanks for coming back. Sarah, Max Del Rio, Tyler F, Jason Burns, Johnny Hellcat. Thanks for jumping over from Monkey Stream. Zero the Hero. And okay, that's everyone so far. And then we don't have Tim Hortons. Yeah, isn't that kind of mostly in Canada and although I think there's a couple in Detroit too or the Northeast. I'm not really sure where the Tim Hortons are. What's the other place? I already said Starbucks. I already said Caribou. Caribou's big in Minnesota where I live. And then Dunn Brothers is really good in the Twin Cities. But yeah, French press. Oh yeah, do you fresh grind your fresh press? Blah blah blah. What am I saying? Do you grind your own beans for the French press? The thing about the grinding beans in the convenience stores here. Good morning, Irish Rose. Is you get the oils from the beans, and that's where a lot of the caffeine resides. And so, man, and it's just really good coffee. You get a lot of more flavor out of it and whatever, and gets that little foamy look to it. And this is a $1.29 convenience store coffee. So anyway, so that's about it. Let's see. You don't have account use grounds. That's okay. Whatever you do, it's coffee. I love coffee. I love my coffee. I love my coffee. So, again, the name of this stream is Let's Get Caught Up. I've got a lot of things to get caught up in. I wanted to do more. I wanted to get caught up on the Jussie Smollett story, which kind of is, for me, it's in a place I wanted it to be. I wanted to see how, if I was right for once, for once, I'm always right. I want to see if I was right, and I wanted to see if he'd get arrested. And now I just kind of want to await the trial. But there's a lot of fun things that people are talking about it. And I thought a couple of these were really funny. So let's just get caught up on a couple of them. What'd I do with it? Everybody's dunking on Jussie Smollett right now. And I just thought this little clip from, looks like TNT basketball. I just thought this was pretty funny. Charles Barkley teaches America the correct way to commit a crime. So let's just check this out real quick.
Ridiculous one over there that's still that what you would say has no chance of happening.
Two black guys beating a black guy up.
And having a black guy.
Sorry, speak it out loud.
That's not on here, man. The Clippers will not make the playoffs. And
what kind of hats they had on, Chuck? Magas hat.
I think that's probably it.
Okay.
The Lakers will not make the playoffs. The Kings will is the latest edition. Go ahead, Kenny. I can't
Chuck,
believe you, Chuck.
You pay him with cash?
Chuckster.
You pay him with cash
Chuckster.
or you write him a check, Chuck?
Hey,
man, America.
This is freaking great.
America. Let me just tell you something.
What's that?
Do not commit crimes with checks. Come on, man. You cannot, if you're going to break the law, do not write a check.
Because you're writing a check that what? Behind cash.
Yo, man, you cannot.
You know.
Get cash, man. I never used an ATM. Now, I heard you can only get $200 out of Charles. $500. Stop, literally. You have to make a lot of stuff to the ATM. But you say, Chuck, America, do not write checks when you commit illegal activity.
I cannot believe that we completed. We touched them all right there. Circle the bag.
Hey, he just said
touch every pillow.
He just said the Lakers would make the playoffs. Jussie said that.
America, Jack, don't commit crime with Jussie, you wasted all that damn time and money. You know what you should have did?
What's that?
Just went up to Liam Neeson's neighborhood. Charles, you got
Ernie, what did you
Oh, I'm dying. I am dying. Yeah, he should have hung out in Liam Neeson's neighborhood. Oh my gosh, that's freaking hilarious. I was dying the first time I watched it. I laugh every time. I've been listening to that like a few times this morning, and I just found it hilarious. But so let's get caught up. And one of the ways I like to get caught up is to see what's happening on Twitter. So let's check out normally I'd be doing, this is one of those seat of my pants shows. I do have a couple things queued up, but I don't even know if I want to watch them. I want to just go get caught up on Twitter. Let's check out let's check Rob Elgas, because he did have an update yesterday, or excuse me. Oh, he's got one this morning too. Well, let's do yesterday's update first. So apparently Jussie Smollett's legal team cites Chicago's mayoral election as a reason their client is wrongfully accused. So they're maintaining that he's wrongly accused. The presumption of innocence, a bedrock in the search for justice, was trampled upon at the expense of Mr. Smollett, and notably on the eve of a mayoral election. Today, we witnessed an organized law enforcement spectacle that is... you can't see this, can you? Today, we witness an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in the American legal system. Mr. Smollett, a young man of impeccable character and integrity, who fiercely and solemnly maintains his innocence. Wait a minute now. Let's see. Let's just... What's the tail of the tape on this, Johnny? His impeccable character and integrity... interesting. Isn't this the same guy who tried to use his brother's name when he got pulled over for a DUI and driving without a license? And he said he was his brother, and he got 3 years probation for lying to the police. Yes, it is. That's the same Jussie Smollett. But let's look at what Rob has today, because apparently he has some new information that I haven't even looked at yet. Breaking news from the 20th Century Fox executive producers of Empire. We have decided to remove the role of Jamal from the final 2 episodes of the season. Wow. So it's already costing him $130,000 because that's what he gets paid per episode. Now, by the way, do me a favor. Thank you. First of all, again, thank you for being here. Has anyone else new showed up since I've been on? No, Johnny, you were right here. You were Johnny on the spot. Who else? Okay. So right now it's still the same few people. And I've got a couple lurkers, which is fine. Lurk all you want. All you got, as long as you share with your friends. Right down there, there's that little arrow that says share it with your friends. Or, let's see what's going on Monkey Stream over here. They still got all these people over here. So, when they get bored over there, in fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send Monkey a direct message. Let's see. You want to watch me do a direct message to Monkey? Let's just do this together. So we start a new message, and that is to Ranting Monkey. Okay. Hey, Monkey. When you're done over there, send them over here. Now, maybe I'll put a little... Hey, I got an idea. Let's put the link. Bump, bump. Wait, where the hell did I do that? Was it here? Oh, wait. What? This is not a boomer moment. I just forgot which tab because I have like 17 million tabs open. Okay, send them over here. Whoop. There we go. All right. We'll see if he does that or not. Dog, slide into Monkey's DMs. Okay, enough of that mess. Okay. Let's see. What else have we got to get caught up on? Okay, let's get back to Rob Elgas, though, because that was... What the hell did I do? Oh, I still got you guys watching that shit. All right, Rob Elgas. Here we go. What else did Rob Elgas have this morning? Oh, this is a good one. New... I'll put this on the screen. From Nightline, prosecutors details Jussie Smollett's alleged actions in preparation for what Chicago police called a staged attack. Let's just listen, let's just listen to what she has in this little clip, because this is pretty good.
Right from Sinscape Studio.
Oh, wait a minute. Before I finish that, good morning, Brian Mullins. Thank you for joining the stream. And whoever else came in. Oh, Irish Rose. Did I say hi to you? Oh, yes, I did it earlier. I did that. Okay.
To the Osendero brothers' home, and the meeting between Smollett and the brothers is corroborated by CPD pod videos and cellular phone tower data of Smollett's phone number. On the late morning of Sunday, January 27, 2019, Smollett drove his vehicle back to the Lakeview neighborhood to pick up the brothers and show them the scene where he wanted the staged attack to take place.
If you didn't catch that completely, this is when they were going to rehearse the incident. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. This is freaking hilarious.
Smollett then drove the brothers to the corner of New Street and North Water Street in Chicago, where the staged attack was to take place. This was just outside of Smollett's apartment building. Further details were provided by Smollett, which included that the staged attack was to take place near the stairs on the southwest corner of New and North Water Streets at 10 p.m. the following night. Smollett also instructed the brothers not to bring their cell phones with them. Smollett directed the brothers' attention towards a surveillance camera on the corner, which he believed would capture the incident.
But did not, because it was facing a different way. She's probably just about to say that, but I just want to get my own voice in here so that maybe I don't get a content strike for this. Let's go.
There was a change in the plan in that bleach was going to be used instead of gasoline during the simulated attack.
Oh, that's right. That's the other thing that we found out. They were going to use gasoline. Wow. But then they decided bleach instead. Ooh, Lord.
Smollett then drove the brothers home and provided them with a $3,500 personal check made payable to Abel, which was backdated to January 23rd of 2019.
Good Lord. There's probably more. I'm not. Let's see what's in the rest in this thread. And then he set this $100 bond, which he paid. But the personal check was just brilliant. The angry lesbo behind CPD Johns. She wasn't angry. Yes, hi, Midnight in Exile. Good morning. I didn't think she was angry at all. I think she was trying not to laugh because of how absurd the whole thing was. You talk about behind her as you're watching the screen to the right. I'm assuming you meant the. Yeah, I don't think she was angry. She's just back there looking like this fool. This fool. All right, let's see what else Rob got, because he has a couple. There's some new stuff just from a few minutes ago. Excuse me. Okay, so that's already. That's what it was. The executive producers have removed his character from Empire. Wow. For the last 2 episodes. So, yeah. I doubt if he'll be paid for those episodes. Let's see. It's 20th. Oh, here's 20th Century Fox direct tweet themselves. Please find a new statement from Empire executive producers Lee Daniels, Danny Strong, Brett Mahoney, Brian Grazer, Sanaa Hamri, Francie Calfo, and Dennis Hammer. The events of the past few weeks have been incredibly emotional for all of us. Okay, but that doesn't show you the rest of the statements. And, oh, good. This mom, Mary, asked, why wasn't Lee Daniels in on the hoax? That's a very good question. But it's interesting because when Lee Daniels tweeted out, or I think he's put an Instagram post on Instagram, obviously, saying this terrible thing that happened to you, Jussie, blah, blah, blah. And then he took it down like really fast. He put it up and took it down like within an hour. So it makes you wonder, why did he take that down so fast? Was it because of the picture of Jussie? Was it because something didn't sit right and he figured it out? Who knows? But that's crazy. And let's see. Now, there was one other thing that he put up here. This is Rob Elgas, who's my favorite source on this. Well, I don't know. That 20th Century Fox statement didn't say anything. That's what kind of annoys me. Unless... Oh, okay. Here we go. They just don't know how to do a thread. All right, let's read. Okay, we'll read this whole thing. Talk about, and people say I have boomer moments. So the events of the past few weeks have been incredibly emotional for all of us. Jussie has been an important member of our Empire family for the past 5 years, and we care about him deeply. While these allegations are very disturbing, we are placing our trust in the legal system as the process plays out. We are also aware of the effects of this process on the cast and crew members who work on our show, and to avoid further disruption on the set, we have decided to remove the role of Jamal from the final 2 episodes of the season. And that's Lee Daniels, blah, 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 all those people. So, man, that's a pretty big damn deal, because I wonder if they're suspending him with or without pay. Good question. Because apparently the rumor now is that he did this because he wanted more pay. And he's just a despicable MFer, if you ask me. Okay, now let's go back to, you know what? Like I said, it's ketchup day. And I don't mean the kind of ketchup that you put on a hamburger. That's a dad joke. All right. Let's see. Now I wanted to do Don Lemon. I know I didn't swear. Thank you, Johnny. I'm very aware of that. This now this was before Jussie Smollett was arrested, but this particular segment on the Don Lemon show kind of annoys me. He had a couple guests on that I didn't think the guests were bad, but there's a couple things in this segment that kind of pissed me off. So I want to go through this segment. I don't always do segments on here. I'm going to start doing some standalone segments of different things that basically just reaction to segments and stuff. So let's check this out real quick. Let's see. Let's get the segment up first. It's this one right here.
I find it baffling.
Hang on. Let's pause that, and here we go. Let's transition real quick. All right. So let's watch this segment because this says Smollett has lost in the court of public opinion. And there's a few things that annoy me in this segment, so we'll stop and talk about those as we go along. And I'll just add a little commentary also. So here we go.
Only because he's well known.
Here she said something at the beginning. I find this baffling because. So I'm going to just start it over.
I find it baffling only because he's well known. He may not be a sort of the biggest star.
People know him now.
But people know.
She finds it baffling because he's well known. I find it baffling that he faked something. But anyway, and people know him now. Yet nobody knew this guy. I mean, some people, very few people knew his name. Like I said, my wife's watched all the seasons of Empire, and I had to explain who Jussie Smollett was. Just saying. Not well known. And maybe he was just trying to build up his name. And we'll talk about that later. Hang on.
Know him. He was on a show that's fairly popular. A lot of young people know him. When this happened,
Midnight in Exile. You know who else was well known? Adolf Hitler. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you're right. He's pretty well known. Yes, he is. I don't know why I just went to my sexy voice for that, but I had to. Okay, here we go.
did sort of trigger a lot of outpouring of emotional support from a lot of different people, from a lot of different producers and television people who worked in the sort of entertainment industry. So that's what I find it most disturbing. But I would also say that if this is true, right, as Joey rightfully pointed out, he is innocent until proven guilty. Right. I think the saddest part about this is that he has chosen, if true, to scapegoat Black queer folk who often are in the crosshairs of violence. In the last 5 years, about 128 transgendered people have been killed. The vast majority of them have been Black women.
Black trans women of color. Which, and I am not. Let me not give the impression that I'm diminishing the issues that trans people have with violence, etc. And probably they say, even though it's a small number relative to the population of our country, I don't think anyone should be beaten for who they are. Although sometimes, and I'm not even justifying why it happens, but I'm certain that some of it happens in the areas of prostitution. If you look at probably some of these cases, they're usually in the case where some sort of deception has happened. That does not excuse violence towards these people. However, it does give you a perspective on that issue. I'm just spitballing here.
You have higher incidence of suicide from LGBTQ teens, from young people. Just in the past year, we've had 2 black gay men die in the home of Ed Buck, who is a Democratic donor. And as far as we know, there's been no...
And why in God's name does that not get more attention? That is the most swept under the rug story. In fact, maybe we might even talk about that on Monday. The story is this big Democratic donor, and his name's Ed Buck, has had not 1, but 2 gay male prostitutes found dead in his home. Have you heard of this story? Have you heard of this story? I don't know that many people have. Now, imagine if 2, not 1, but 2 dead gay male prostitutes were found in the home of, say, Sean Hannity or Mike Pence or George Soros, or not George Soros, because you'd never hear about that. But any Republican, or one of the Koch brothers. Could you imagine how big that story would be? In fact, let's put it in perspective. When Jussie Smollett was still a victim of some mega... excuse me. I'm sorry. MAGA country villains, it was the biggest story in America. And now, unfortunately, the only reason it can't be swept under the rug now. But imagine. Well, there's a story of a guy getting... People get attacked every day. People get shot every day. Anyway, I'm going way beyond this. Let's go. Johnny Hellcat. I'd almost expect that out of Sean Hannity. Well, that's yeah, no, I mean that's not what we're talking about. We're talking. Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, let's go on.
No investigation. So those things, those crimes are not hoaxes. So it's my hope that this is not used as an excuse to sort of forget about the truth.
This is a huge narrative right now too. Oh, this is going to be used to dismiss all the other hate crimes, blah, blah, blah. No, it won't. It won't, because Americans are sympathetic, empathetic to people who are victims of crime. We are not empathetic to people who fake crimes against them, especially when we figure it out. But I don't know that the next time. Well, although now that I think about it, when Majid Nawad got attacked in London a couple of days ago, a lot of people were wondering, is it a troll? You know, is he just trolling? So yeah, maybe you're right. It makes you think twice about the next hate crime. But anyway, let's go on.
True violence that's happening in this
So let's just be real here.
Hold on. Don Lemon. Let's just be real here. Don, please. Please. All right, let's listen.
So let's just be real here. Among the most skeptical people, the early skeptics, were black queer folk saying, this just doesn't seem to add up. I hope it's, he's not lying.
Right.
But this just doesn't add up.
Right.
Maybe it's just because I don't necessarily run in those circles, but I don't recall anyone who would normally be an ally to Jussie Smollett be skeptical of this. Don Lemon certainly wasn't, but I digress.
Because why? Why do you think they were so skeptical of it?
Well, common sense often always kicks in.
No, it doesn't. It does not, because it was an opportunity to throw Trump and Trump supporters under the bus. Common sense did not prevail. Common sense prevailed from people who looked at that and said, "What you talking about, Willis?"
I think the way he had outlined, or sort of the way the facts were put out, it was a little too perfect. And the idea that at least there were allegations that he kept the rope around his neck for a long time. Did he go to the hospital right away? There didn't seem to be a press conference right after it happened, you know, from his attorneys to sort of outline exactly what happened. Well, what was the extent of his injuries? He said that he, you know, a liquid was poured on him. What was that? There just didn't seem to be enough outrage from him right after it happened in terms of letting us know what the facts are.
And in fact, a week later, when he did his little show at the Troubadour, and the facts that he said were wrong were the facts that were provided by his own team. So, and he didn't seem, even in that Troubadour, when he was at the Troubadour, he didn't seem angry. He just, other than people, he was angry at people doubting him, but there was no emotion in that statement. He read it off a cue card like he had to remember what he had to say. It was really bad. That, of course, that was before he hired the PR firm.
I see it this way. Look, the bottom line is when things happen, number one, we live in a very visual society,
exactly.
Right? And generally, when we're having a conversation, Don, midwin, there's a videotape, we're analyzing it, we're dissecting it. That was not the case here. There's a cell phone, there's some surveillance, it was absent. So then you go to the facts and you say, could it have happened? And then you get to the fact it's 2 in the morning. And then you get to the fact it's 20 degrees below zero. And then you get to the fact that it's 40 minutes after the fact that you reported. And then you get to the fact that you still have the noose around your neck. And then you get to the fact that you still have your Subway sandwich. And then you get to the fact that you had cell phone records and you were supposed to turn them over, but you redacted them beforehand. And then you get to the fact that I happened to be on the phone with my manager at the time, and so therefore people were skeptical as to the story. Now, going back real quick, Don, to what you talked.
Yeah, that all sounds familiar. And I know there was a few people who caught all those details of the story and went, "What you talking about, Willis?"
Talking about why. No one knows why. And the point is, from a prosecutor's perspective, it's not going to even matter because you don't have to establish motive when you're talking about someone filing a false report. You just have to establish that you did it. And it's troubling. And the other issue is it demeans and undervalues people who are true victims of crime, who really are outcrying for investigations. And not only that, but
ding!
But you're talking about the diversion of resources. Let's keep it real. You want to keep it real? We're talking about Chicago. There's plenty of places that 12 detectives could have been investigating as opposed to executing search warrants. And then factually,
ding!
even the police now have the receipt for the noose that's around his neck. I think it's a problematic case.
Well, according to the reports that are out there, and it's even part of the police department, he says that he didn't want to report it, that his friend made him report it, and that's what took so long.
And we know why. Now we know why. He had to make sure that there was time for the guys in the mystery van to get away.
Some of those questions has been answered. That
No.
And that he
some of the questions he's answered. As to whether those answers carry merit or are sufficient, that's another issue. When we're prepping clients, I mean, there are answers to every.
Yeah, I know, Johnny. I do need to get a soundboard. I'm working on it.
Everything. Yeah. But the issue is, does it make sense? Does it?
Oh, good. Thanks. I'll look that up. Midnight in Exile. I'm talking to you.
Resonate, and when you keep having to explain, why didn't you turn over the full phone records?
And is it credible? Right. Does it make sense given the circumstances? Is it reasonable?
Does it?
What? No. No. Is it?
It never was reasonable. And how people didn't realize that from the beginning, like some of us did, just drives me nuts. I might do a compilation of my 2 weeks of this and then get on it. Anyway, go on.
Is it reasonable? Would a victim of crime do and say the things that he did? No.
Nope.
You know,
oh, by the way, good morning, Shiagrath. Oh, Shiagrath. Peter Tork of the Monkees has died, leaving just 2 surviving members, still copying the Beatles all these years later. Oh my God. That's rough. That's rough. Anyway, come on.
I watched his interview on Good Morning America,
Why
and
why did he do that interview?
I
don't. Let me just say.
Why did he do that interview? Because his PR firm blew it.
I came away with watching him thinking, I hope he's telling the truth because I'm not convinced.
Okay, so let me say something about this. Someone who sits here every single night and tries to get interviews with people who are involved in the news. Oftentimes when people they go into crisis PR management. They call a crisis PR person. Yeah. That crisis PR person will tell them.
This part cracks me up. I've seen this part already.
Do a morning show. Right. They've got a lot of viewers. Don't ever throw yourself on the mercy of the court. This is not 1997. It's not even 2006. It's not even 20. That no longer works. This is, and in this particular case, this is not an entertainment story. This has become a political story because of the whole MAGA part. And you know where that is played out and lived daily? In cable news.
You should have done that interview with me. I would have asked you much more difficult questions. But you went to the entertainment news of the morning. Oh, fucking Don. Oh, I swore. Gosh darn it. Johnny. Maybe you know what I need to do? I need one of those jars on my desk here. Just to put quarters in. Okay.
And on social media. So if you're going to take your fight, you need to take it to the
Don Lemon
pit to where it's happening. It's not happening on morning shows.
That's right.
They talk about the news for a few minutes. Nothing against morning shows.
What about me? It isn't fair. I could have had that interview. I wanted my share. Can't you see? My questions would have been much better. Oh, there's a little Don Lemon who wish he had his friend come on his own show and tell his story. But this story will never end. I'm not going to finish this song. Come on.
Shows.
Do y'all get the reference there? You know that song? Remember that song? What about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough. Now I want my share. Can't you see? I want to live. But you just take more than you give.
I love all my colleagues there. I think they do a great job. But that's not where it is now, especially when it comes to this. But what I'm saying is...
come on my show. Yeah, even the lawyer there said that. That's hilarious.
That doesn't work. Come on a show like this.
Come on a show like this. Don, you would have given him a much better tongue bath than Robin Roberts would have. That's all I'm saying. You wouldn't have asked him anything different. Your questions would have been, well, Jussie, how do you feel? Well, now, some people said that the rope around your neck would have been less scary than you made it out to be. Explain to me why, as a black man, that rope around your neck really upset you. Dumbass.
Any of my other colleagues, and sit down with us live for an hour or however long it takes, answer the questions that need to be answered from real journalists.
Real journalists.
I shouldn't say that. From journalists who don't have to worry about the entertainment arm of their particular company.
Well, the real person he needs to answer questions from is the police.
Well,
my lack of soundboard, but ding.
And one of the, I think, odd aspects of this from the very beginning.
Ooh, odd. Odd. That's one of those journalism words, odd. Oh, that was odd that this happened.
Is this inability to turn over the cell phone.
You may be right about that,
You
but
know
let me
what I
tell
mean?
you this, and Joey, I know this. You can, a good lawyer can get you out just about anything, right? Or reduce whatever it is that you're going to suffer. In the court of public opinion, Jussie has lost. He's lost the fight in the court of public opinion. Yeah. And that's where his battle is. Whether legally...
Yeah, usually people who do hate crime hoaxes win in the court of public opinion. I just, whatever.
If he has to go, whatever he has to serve, if it's jail time, if he has to do probation, if he has to pay, whatever. But in the court of public opinion...
It matters.
It matters, and he lost...
Wait, what? What did he just... Negro, please. What did you just say?
Opinion. Jussie has lost. He's lost the fight in the court of public opinion. Yeah. And that's where his battle is. Whether legally, if he has to go, whatever he has to serve, if it's jail time, if he has to do probation, if he has to pay, whatever. But in the court of public opinion...
It matters.
It matters, and he...
Yeah, well, you know what? Oh, if he has to do jail time, he has to do this, do that. Well, oh, good Lord.
He lost that because of how, and not his fault, maybe people were... I don't know what they were saying to him, how maybe because of his representatives. Who knows?
I don't know.
But it was handled poorly.
I don't know if it's not his fault, Don.
You think it's his fault? You think he was...
I just want to hear what he says after he says, I don't know if it's his fault. Just let's listen.
Doing what he wanted.
Well, he went out and he gave the interview. So understand this. Now let's talk from a defense perspective. There's two things to think about. Number one is the law and whether it makes sense legally to be out there speaking and everything else. From that perspective, it's damning. All those things you heard him say on TV are going to be played in a courtroom in the event this goes to trial, and it's going to crush him. Now, from a public relations imperative, your people say, oh, get in front of the cameras, express what happened, show some, show some real anger, and show some this, that, the other. The fact is that works from a public relations perspective.
And the only thing he showed anger about in that video that you could tell was real anger is that people doubted as to why he was out at 2 in the morning. Well, if you're hungry, you got to go out. You go to Subway because you're hungry and there's no food, and I'm mad and blah blah blah. And his eyes were shooting lightning when he was talking about why he was at Subway. Well, I was hungry and I had to get some food. Oh God.
Exactly. But it doesn't work in this perspective.
It doesn't work. And listen, again, I want you to say I have nothing but the utmost respect for my friends at ABC. And
hey, Camel, let me ask you something. Good morning, by the way. And also someone else showed up. Oh, Sugar, I thought he said are they finally done over there at Monkey in the Morning? Are they done dicking around over there? Oh, anyway, let's go.
Other things. Right. Robin did a terrific job on that interview. I'm just talking about...
Didn't he just say they should have went to oh, hang on, let's do something here. Oh, they're all gone. Oh, that's me. Never mind. I took him off. I turned those off. Okay. They just wrapped up. Oh, that must be end. Okay. Someone send him over here. Here, let's put that link in here. You guys can play around with it. Tell him to come on over. Someone go back over there. Let's get back to Don here. So, here we go. Back to Don.
About how you respond to this sort of crisis. That doesn't really work anymore, and I think that is old school. This is playing out every single moment.
Yeah. Now, watch what actually makes Don angry here. This is the part of the interview or the segment that just makes me laugh. What Don is really, truly worried about on this story. This is great.
In cable news, Sean Hannity's going to eat Jussie Smollett's lunch every single second. Tucker Carlson is going to eat Jussie Smollett's lunch every single second.
President of the
the
United
President of the
States.
United States
That's
is
right.
going to eat his lunch. And who does the President of the United States watch every night?
You.
Cable news. Yeah, well, cable news.
That's what Don's mad about. He doesn't give a shit about the fact that, you know, Jussie did all this stuff. But gosh darn it, it's gonna make us look bad and make it on Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson and the president. It gives the president something to talk about. Oh my God, what a jackass.
And so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
The pushback on this needs to be that.
Johnny, ew. Come on, man.
The framing cannot be that simply because of this one case that all the other victims that come forward are somehow no longer believed.
But you know that's really what the narrative's going to be.
I know, but it's time that you know, it's time that we stop being.
No, what the narrative is going to be is that this guy is a lying, cheating bastard, and it just shows another highlight of another fake hate crime, and that you're diminishing real hate crimes, which are but they're going to bring up the hate crimes are up 17% argument again, or they're going to bring up the Southern Poverty Law Center saying that there's the most hate groups ever, which we'll talk about that a little bit too, either today or next time. Those are phony statistics. Brian, I don't even think I said good morning to you, did I? Well, I'm saying good morning now. Also, Saint Fugi, nice to see you. And who else just showed up in here that said something? Well, anyone else who just happens to be lurking right now, welcome to the show. Let's get back into Don and them.
Being led by other people's
Let's talk about the Chicago police too,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people don't trust the police, and I know the police are.
In the immortal words of NWA, I'm not going to say it because then I'd have to swear it. I'd have to put a quarter in the tip jar, and I'm going to get a quarter jar. Oh, good morning, Prospero. Hi, nice to see you. All right, here we go.
They are upset in Chicago that they're being portrayed or have been portrayed unfairly in the media. A story that is this high profile, this many ramifications, I'm not sure that the Chicago police would put themselves on the line for something like this when they feel that they don't have something really credible to make their case. Am I wrong?
The reason they put themselves on the line is because I'm sure Mayor Rahm Emanuel probably said, you know what? This is a high-profile case that's already national news before we got on top of it. So now we have to solve this case, or we look like a bunch of dickheads who don't care about black and gay people. That's your that was the problem. Hey, check your logic. Nice to see you.
With that, or
and then you go, then I go.
Two things. Number one, I could talk all night, I'm sure we all can, about the Chicago police and about some of the things that exist as it relates to that police department, as it relates to the Department of Justice, as it relates to their transgressions, particularly as it relates to people of color.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to prove that they cared about people of color and gay people in this case.
In this case, I don't have things that are bad to say about them. Let me tell you why. They investigated the case. They investigated it thoroughly. When people started speaking about an issue of it could be a hoax, and oh my goodness, they said we don't have information that would support that at all. And I think they dotted their I's, they crossed their T's, and they were very sensitive with regard to the investigation. And so if you want to speak about the police department and their troubles, we can have a conversation about that.
But a lot of people were wondering where so much information whether there were leaks.
Absurd leaks coming out almost
But
every
do we know that
day.
the leaks were coming from the police department or just from sources?
They were unnamed sources within the police department, and
but the leaks were all to local news people who and the leaks were invaluable. I'm sorry. I'm glad there were leaks. At least they were, because of course the national people didn't want to believe it. The local news people said, this ain't it. This is not it. This is not what happened. And so they got some good sources within the police department. Hey, that's journalism. You got your sources.
If you are on top of what it is that you're trying to do, and you're trying to sort of project an image of being professional from a police department standpoint, put a cap on that. There was no reason for these sort of leaks to be coming out every other day. It almost made it almost kind of gave this image or this impression as though they had...
I don't know what she's going to say here, but it almost gave the impression that somebody was lying. Well, let's imagine that.
This sort of vested interest in making sure that proving that Jussie was wrong.
Okay,
what if the leaks? What if this really happened? Okay, let's say everything that Jussie Smollett happened, and the leaks were about the fact that they're finding evidence that it happened. Would she be complaining right now? Nope. But hey, the leaks were about things that were correct. So, sorry, lady. Hey, Tarkata, good morning.
So what I'm saying, it's almost as though they had a vested interest in.
So anyway,
I find it
that's the segment with Don Lemon. I thought that was interesting. Okay, so right now I'm already kind of past my time because I started so much later than I normally do. But I am going to do a couple just Twitter trends real good. I'm like looking and talking at the same time. So daily Twitter, what's happening on Twitter today? Let's see what's going to be happening in the world today based on what we find on Twitter today. So let's go to my Twitter home here, blah, blah, blah. And the number one trending on Twitter today is National Margarita Day. Woo! You know what's cool about National Margarita Day? I'll wait. I'll let you try to guess what I'm going to say. What's the greatest thing about National Margarita Day? And I'm waiting. Anybody? What's the great thing about National Margarita Day? Sure, that's it. Margaritas, duh. Margaritas. By the way, today is my wedding anniversary too. My wife and I have been married 26 years today, and we're gonna go out and see one of our friends who has his own music. He's a musician, has his own band. So we're gonna do that. Yeah, tequila too. I like that answer from Sheograph. Can't celebrate National Margarita Day in Dallas. Cultural appropriation, don't you know? Anyway, all right, so National Margarita Day, who's writing about that? Okay. Oh, Joe Walsh. If nothing else, today is National Margarita Day. You know what? I'm laughing, Sheograph, because we did the Charles Barkley thing earlier. Takata. You know, the National Margarita Day thing, I'll bet you anything that there's going to be something about culture appropriation today. I don't know how soon it's going to be. Let's just go down let's go down the National Margarita Day trending topics. Now, these are the top ones. So he's Joe Walsh, happy about National Margarita Day, puts out something about USA Today. There are specials at restaurant. You know, You know, I would think this is just a marketing thing, because Cinco de Mayo is kind of National Margarita Day, and that's everyone kind of that, you know, the whole cultural appropriation thing is coming around on that too. Anyway, Brad Thor, one day, 5 ingredients, happy National Margarita Day. Amanda Guerra, I am here for you on National Margarita Day deals. Okay, so apparently she knows all the places that have specials on margaritas. Jimmy Buffett songs. That's a pretty funny Twitter handle, actually, if you ever follow that one. It's jungle out here, kiddies. Have a frugal day, eh? Because he's the writer of Margaritaville. Orange Theory Fitness. Coffee gets me to the studio. Margaritas help me get through everything else. Okay. I'm waiting for the first cultural appropriation tweet. I'm going to be diligent. Max Crawford, it's Friday. It's also National Margarita Day. Do with this information what you will. I'm waiting for it. Oh, drink of the day. It's National Margarita Day. Now they're using blue curacao in a margarita. No. Tequila, triple sec, lime juice. Shake that. I prefer margaritas on the rocks, or excuse me, margaritas up. So I like them just shaken and drink up like in a martini glass with the salt around the martini glass. Although I do prefer them on the rocks too. I don't like frozen margaritas. That's a kiddie drink. Come on, drink them on the rocks or up. I'm just saying. Okay, National Hotel something's. What is that? I don't even know what that is. It's some. What? Saving lives, preventing injuries, reducing economic costs. Dude, oh, I see. They're the National Highway Traffic Safety Association. Yeah, take an Uber tonight. Take an Uber if you're going to enjoy margaritas. Okay, not one cultural appropriation. No, Newsweek. And it might be cliche, but it's making what? No. Okay, nobody bitching about National Margarita. Maybe it's just too early. And it's trending #1. People are happy about freaking National Margarita Day. Ooh, damn. Now, wait a minute. Where the hell did that car come from? Here's going to go again. Watch. Give it a couple seconds. What the hell was that? Play this again. Dude, where'd that car come from? Somewhere in Austin, Texas. Hey, Sheograph. That wasn't you, was it? Good Lord. Well, okay, so someone said something about margaritas and Cointreau. I don't know that. I mean, Cointreau is another orange type liqueur that is actually I prefer it with Grand Marnier rather than Cointreau, but that's just me. But I, most classic margaritas now are made with triple sec. I'm sure that Cointreau is a simple type of. Maybe there's something. Maybe Cointreau is just high end triple sec for all I know. I don't know, but yeah, I like making it with Grand Marnier instead of triple sec. So okay, so far these are just nope, nothing there. People with frozen margaritas, no big plans. National Margarita. What's this dude doing? Okay, let's just do this. Maybe it's just because people are starting to figure out. So those are the biggest top trends. Let's try the latest. Somebody's got to say something about cultural appropriation. You know what? Could it be that National Margarita Day is such a great thing that no one's going to bitch and moan about it? Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be fantastic. All right, let's go to number 2. Number 2 trending right now, Steve Irwin. Is this the day that, okay, remembering the crocodile hunter Steve Irwin on what would have been his 57th birthday. Okay. A snake once bit Steve Irwin's neck on live TV, and his response was flawless.
He doesn't feel, I don't scare him, so he won't bite, and he hasn't got venom. Now that's a python, but it's very difficult from a distance to tell a python from a. You might have to cut him, he's biting my neck. I'm serious.
Good.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, if I watch the telly, I should be able to. Can you get a close in on this?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's gonna go, yeah. Perfect.
Did that hurt?
No. Oh. Sorry about that.
Steve Irwin was brilliant. I mean, he was brilliant. So anyway, he was the crocodile hunter. He got you're right. Sheograph. Steve Irwin died doing what he loved to do, with animals in his heart. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. So if you don't know, Steve Irwin had the show called The Crocodile Hunter. Maybe most of you are familiar with it. But he died when I believe a stingray, or whatever, a manta ray, one of those kind of fish, pierced his heart with its tail, and that's how he died. But yeah, the crocodile, that was a fun show, but that dude was crazy. And apparently now his daughter does similar things, but okay, that's Steve Irwin. What else is trending today? Friday feelings. Okay, always BitTube. There, as usual, I'm gonna happy dance because it's Friday. We're giving away Lido Pizza. We're giving away 4 $25 Lido Pizza gift cards. Retweet the following and be entered to win. Well, we don't have Lido Pizza in the Twin Cities. Friday feeling. Live your life like somebody left the gate open. Woo! Yeah, baby. That's what my wife and I are going to do tonight. We're going to go enjoy some cocktails with some friends, listening to some good music. All right, next trend of the day, Tucson. Oh, gosh. Oh, okay. Just that it snowed in Tucson. So look at that picture. That's Tucson, Arizona. Holy cripes. That's amazing. You know, we're there's apparently the snowstorm that came through most of the northern half of the country also hit like Las Vegas and parts of Arizona. And apparently we're going to get another 10 inches of snow this weekend. So I already got my backyard. I have places where if I step in the snow, it goes up to my knees. So just what I need is a little more snow. But anyway, so snow in Tucson. Oh, look at that. Can I expand this? This is Tucson, Arizona. That's pretty wild. I bet they don't get a lot of snow in Tucson. All right, so let's see. What else is trending? I got to make this quick. Friday thoughts. Every time I get one of these daily thoughts, I'm praying that the first picture is a thought. But it never happens. Let's find out what the first picture on Friday thoughts is. Nope. Don't say it. I am not impressed by money, social status, or job title. I am impressed by the way someone treats other human beings. You know what? That's a great Friday thought. And if more people thought that way, we would have a better world. Oh, good God. Bishop Talbert Swan. I fuck this dude. Look, one black man lies and he messed it up for all black people. One white man murders 58 people and wounds 500 others, and he's a lone wolf who only represents himself. We see your double standard. Friday thoughts. Hey, Bishop Talbert Swan. No, Jussie Smollett has not messed it up for all black people. He hasn't. He just lied his ass off and tried to exploit already burning divisions in our country. He's a dickhead, and he's a dickhead for himself. And you can go eat sand. I was going to say F-Y, but, you know, Johnny Hellcat's in the chat, and I don't want to swear. I don't like that. I want to finish on a good Friday thought so I can go to the next thing. Let's go. Oh, here. Okay, there's a good one. There is always someone who cares for you without your knowledge. Friday thought. There's people out there who care about you. I like that one much better. I'm not going to skip Friday motivation. Venezuela aid live. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh, so they're going to have a concert to help the humanitarian aid get to Venezuela. People are dying because there are no resources, no medicines, no food, no electricity, no water, and no capitalism. Help as much as you can. Okay, no capitalism is not on that list. I feel bad for the people of Venezuela. And I don't know, I haven't, as much as I'd like to believe I know everything about the world, I don't know what's really going on down there, and I don't think we're ever going to know. Madura's a jackass. He certainly hasn't made anything better for the people of Venezuela. But I don't know this other guy who says that, he's the true whatever of Venezuela. I don't know. The president, they did this constitutional maneuver. So the other guy says he's the president. I don't know if that's any better. He's another socialist. And now also there's reports this morning that that the Venezuelan army fired on some people in the Brazilian army. You know, I don't even know what to think of this. But anyway, Venezuela aid. Apparently there's some concert. Who's going to be at this international concert? Why are they, you know what? They're going to raise money for Venezuela, and when they send it to Venezuela, it's all going to end up in Maduro's pocket anyway, or some corrupt F-up. Who's going to be at the Venezuela? Led by Sir Richard Branson. Oh, isn't he just a delight? I mean, he's such a great, you know, what's the word? Virtue. Hoping to raise $10 million, which will be the starting point towards raising $100 million total in humanitarian aid donation from governments. I would pray that if they raise that much money in humanitarian aid, that it actually goes to help people. I just pray that, but you know, I'm not holding my breath. So far, I mean, invited artist Alice Alesso. Okay, these are none of these artists anyone I know. I'm sure they'll get some. I'm sure they'll get more artists that you've heard of. Danny Ocean, whoever that, Diego Torres Fonseca. I don't know any of these artists. They're probably all South American or Latin American artists. Lele Pons. She sounds familiar. Yeah, it's pretty much all Latin American artists. But you know what? More power to them. Like I said, I hope they get aid to actual people and not just whatever. Oh, that's just one of those things. Duchesne University. No, Duchesne. What? Oh no. What CBJ? What is the CB? What trade alert? Oh, Columbus Blue Jackets. You know, there are so many. It's so funny because I'm not a huge follower of hockey, but I follow it enough to kind of know enough to be dangerous, and I do get to a Minnesota Wild game every once in a while. And I even went to the North Star games when they were back here in Minnesota when I first moved here. But every time I hear a club like the Columbus Blue Jackets or the Tampa Bay Lightning or whatever that hockey franchise is in Phoenix and the one in Las Vegas that they're starting to have, I'm like, what the hell happened here? How did we get hockey franchises in Los Angeles and Las Vegas and Arizona and Columbus? Although at least they play hockey in Columbus. Nobody plays hockey in Tampa. What the hell? I don't know. Anyway, I don't care. Good. Matt Duchesne from the Ottawa Senators in exchange for Jonathan Davidson. So he's going to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yippee! All right. And the last trending Twitter trend is Navy Federal. Why is Navy Federal trending? I mean, how many people use Navy Federal Credit Union? I suppose there's a lot if you were in the Navy. An issue with deposits has been resolved, Navy Federal says, and customers should now be able to see deposits in their accounts. Apparently, they had a problem with deposits. Customers said they were unable to see direct deposits, and the bank was aware of the issue, saying it is now resolved. So, okay, so they had a glitch in their system that didn't show the deposit that you got, and now the deposits are able to be seen. Oh, but this lady says Navy Federal Credit Union has been having problems on and off with direct deposits since late last year, and its mobile banking as well. In December, customer bank accounts were empty. Well, they weren't really empty. They figured it out. I hope they get their shit together. But because you want to know where your money is, right? All right. So that's the Twitter trends for today. We got through all of them, and it's snowing in Tucson. Gosh darn it! And let's see this message. Oh, Johnny Hellcat sent me a link here. Let's just see. Oh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, to finish the show today, Johnny Hellcat sent me a fantastic link. And we are definitely going through this story. Let me get it. I need to set this up. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. That's not going to show up on my screen. I wonder if I can move it. Let's see. Here's what we'll do. We'll make this smaller. We're going to move the whole thing right over here so it ends up on my screen, because I want you to be able to see this one. Oh, here we go. Jussie Smollett arrives in court wearing a full body cast. Oh, it's not even a story. It's just a picture. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. By the way, I have to go through my disclaimer. Actually, this picture's from The Onion. That's a funny one, Johnny. So, hi, Maniac Man. I see you made it. My disclaimer. Remember, my disclaimer. Sorry. The Morning Night Live. Oh, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, opinions and views expressed on the Morning Night Live do not necessarily. What's that? I forgot my disclaimer. I'm embarrassed. I had this down too. Okay. I'm going to start this one over. Ladies and gentlemen, the views expressed on the Morning Night Live do not necessarily reflect the views of the Morning Night Live, nor the host of the Morning Night Live. Sorry. That's funny. That's a good one, Johnny Hellcat. That's a good one to end the show on today. Ladies and gentlemen, I really enjoy being here. I really love what I do. And a lot of that is thanks to you. For those of you who come each and every day and spend some time in the chat with us. What I really, if you want to help this stream and help this show, we do appreciate when you use that little arrow down there to share the stream. Also, hitting the like button's always great. Now, just remember though, it used to be when you hit that like button and if you had it set up, you would get it. It would automatically go out on Twitter or whatever, but that doesn't work anymore. That's why we ask you to hit the share button. Whatever social media you use, you can share it on social media, and we appreciate that too. Also, we generally, I also have Streamlabs down in the description. If you ever want to make a donation, that's great. I don't necessarily shill for those, but as the show grows and as this becomes just a daily part of my life, I always appreciate those of you who have helped us out monetarily too. But just you being here is a joy for me. So thank you again for being here on the Morning Light Live. We are here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT. It's been a lot of fun. And my name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.